Time for part 6 of Kingdom Come Deliverance II with the Therapists. Great to have you on board. Y'all are fabulous. Thanks for watching this. Thanks for leaving comments. Thanks for being nice to me. You leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave more comments, all that fun stuff. I'm thrilled with the engagement on this video series so far, so please continue. It's lovely. And I hope that I, do one of your favorite games justice, if this is one of your favorite games. It's been a lot of fun to play and talk about. We are going to have some episodes that are slower than others just by the way that this all goes, so bear with me. I don't know where the hot points versus the cold points are going to be. It's part of the fun of this. Anyway, thanks for being here. I appreciate you all immensely, and I am ready to commence part 6. Hopefully it's still raining. All right, I'm gonna see if we're gonna break into this house or not. Okay. Oh, that's right. I was gonna look into a head bobbing mod and motion mod, and I didn't. My bad. Can I just climb this ladder to get into this guy's house? Is that really how this can work right now? Let's explore for a minute before we make that call. I'm so weary to make that call. Woodcutter, what's up, Woodcutter Dushko? Hey! Oh God, are we really gonna do this right now? Can we, what the hell? Why are you chill the whole time and then I start doing the playthrough and you get goofy?
God be with you. What would you like?
Sorry about that brawl. Oh, yeah, I'll apologize. Why not?
I'd like to apologize for that brawl. Lord Capon is a bit hot-headed.
That Capon of yours is a puffed-up fool, more to the point. But that was some punch, I'll give him that. And you fought like a lion and all. We outnumbered you, but we still had our work cut out.
You were better. It wasn't my first brawl. I had to defend Capon. I'll grease him up a little bit. Why not?
But you were better. If they hadn't dragged us apart, we wouldn't have stood a chance.
Aye, but you wouldn't avoid the stocks even so. People in the village don't like strangers, and my father is no different. In any case, as far as the two of us are concerned, it's all water under the bridge, right?
Right.
You can see I'm not some idiot, can't you? I just don't like haughty fuckers. And you aren't one, are you?
I hope not.
I'm sure you aren't. You're a good lad. I can tell. And a good brawler as well. If you ever want a proper workout and some fisticuffs, Lawrence the Zhelyov innkeeper is your man.
I'm looking for a young girl who's gone missing. Her name is Pavlena, and she sells baskets here sometimes. Do you know anything about her?
I don't know her, but you can ask my father. He'll probably be in the rat house somewhere. God be with you.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
I'm looking for a young girl named Pavlena. She's missing. She was supposed to be selling baskets here. Do you know anything about her?
I think I remember her. I bought baskets from her once, and they were very finely made. But that was some time ago. See you later, my friend.
Perhaps the basket you're currently carrying is one of them. All right, so this is a stable. What's going on here? Oh, the butcher. A little bite to eat, huh? Okay, well, let's talk to that dude's dad. Oh, cat. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, I thought that was a horseshoe, not a sausage. I need a cobbler. Need my boots fixed. Don't put it out with your boots, Ted. Okay. Going the right direction. Call me Sherlock Henry. We're gonna solve this. We're gonna find her. Give me those dandelions.
I'm looking for Pavlena, the daughter of Bozhena from Zhelyov. She comes here selling baskets and other items.
Aye, I know her.
Do you know if she's been here in the last few days, Master Bailiff? I'm a bit worried about her.
I haven't seen her myself, but you can ask around the village. Try the houses along the road to Zhelyov. She'd have to pass that way.
What can you tell me about Pavlena?
She used to live here with her mother, but then we drove them out. She's not the kind of girl you'd notice much, but she knows how to take care of herself. I let her come round here because, well, maybe I've gotten soft in my old age. But I reckon children shouldn't have to pay for their parents' sins. Don't you think?
Why did you drive them out of...
I know that was a giant cultural thing back in the day of like the idea that kids had to pay the like if your parents did something, you're blah blah blah. I mean that concept is a bit wild, right? Like that you're somehow on the hook for something your parents did, even if it's before you were alive. Like woof. In some ways, you do still carry some of the burdens of that via like reputation and your last name and stuff, but. I think holding anybody accountable for something that they're not accountable for is ridiculous. And I realize that it's in the cultural zeitgeist at this time. And it's like a whole thing and people had their reasons, but imagining you know something about somebody before you actually interact with them meaningfully and actually orienting yourself to them in that way because of that is a very unfair proposition. I think unless you have a collective sign up on that, it's really a thing worth critiquing. But
Goodness. What happened?
Bozhena was our midwife. It ain't the cleanest trade, but it's needed. Women all over the domain used to call for her help with births. Only, as it turned out, bad help is worse than no help at all. I won't go digging up old grievances, but believe me, we had cause enough to drive that old witch out of here.
I'd like to know more about that. Not for any meaningful reason. I just kind of like the gossip and the drama. Do tell, good sir. What does that mean?
Has Pavlena got any friends here? Acquaintances?
There's Roman, who brings us wood.
Roman? Who's he?
A woodcutter like his father. May he rest in peace. He lives just off the green. His hair is red like embers. You can't miss him.
And Pavlena's on friendly terms with him?
Mm-hmm. You could put it like that. Roman's pa wouldn't be too happy about his son being with an outsider like her. But all he can do now is look down and weep. Not that Roman ain't a decent lad. Honest and hard-working. It wouldn't surprise me if Pavlena left her ma to be with him.
Well, I don't think that's likely. Pavlena left all her things at home.
Still and all. You could go and ask Roman if he's seen her or not.
Do you think anyone here would want to hurt Pavlena?
Troskovich is a decent village. You'd better watch your mouth.
Fair.
What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I was just visited by one of the local peasants. He said he found more fresh graves behind his field, just below the village, along the road to Nabokov.
What do you mean, more? You sound like this isn't the first time.
That we found someone buried here? Don't even ask. I've been digging up bodies ever since that bandit gang started running rampant. Most of them are von Burgo's men, and that's about it.
That sounds interesting. Thank you.
All right. Pavlena did not return from her errands in Troskowitz. I promised to help Vashena because, after all, Lord Capon and I are in their debt. Vashena mentioned that I could search Pavlena's room upstairs in the cottage. I found nothing in her room suggesting she wanted to run away or hide for a time. However, I did find a man's head cover. Learned that Pavlena was hanging out with the Troskowitz woodcutters. I asked their leader, Dushko, about her. I asked the thrush, the bailiff of Troskowitz, about Pavlena. He couldn't tell me much about her disappearance, but he gave me good advice on who to ask next. The daughter of Boshna, the herb woman, has not returned home, and her mom's getting worried. I promised to find her. Pavlena was last seen heading to Troskowitz. So bastards, I advised to ask. Roman has also disappeared. Suggests Roman's house. Okay. All right.
At the mill? Yeah, the place by the Zheherovka stream. What then? Has the water sprite been up to his mischief again? You could say that. They found a dead body stuck in the wheel on Sunday. You're kidding.
We'll stay friends.
Who was it? Some vagabond. God rest his soul. And get this. Miller Boschka says he was in the water at least a week, judging by the state of his body. So what? Somebody did him in and chucked him into the water. But the river there has a powerful current. The dead man had been floating down the river for at least a week. Without anyone noticing? Exactly. And that's not all. The dead man had a gold chain round his neck. Can you believe it? Someone bumped him off and didn't even rob him. That is strange. I reckon something devilish was involved. You don't see something like that every day. See you later. God be with you. Go and see the priest first.
Okay, that's cool. It's like actual, meaningful, cool dialogue to just eavesdrop on.
Get up and go out into the world. You'll thank me when you return.
It's great, dude. Jordan, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. She's not going to want to talk to me still.
Have you come to break some more stuff? If you want something, wait till I stop being angry. And if you don't have anywhere to sleep, they'll look after you in Shellyoff. Have you come to break some more stuff?
Yeah, all right. So she's inaccessible to me right now. All right. No cobblers here. I'm amazed there's no cobblers here. You would think that that would be a massively desired profession here. All right. So we have search Roman's house. Ask about Pavlena. Wait, so... I mean, I guess I'll ask a few more people.
I'm looking for a young girl named Pavlena. She's missing. She was supposed to be selling baskets here. Do you know anything about her?
I don't know no Pavlena. Sorry. I hope you find her soon. Take care, my friend.
You, musician. You,
I'm
hired
sorry.
hand. I'd like to speak with you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Have you seen Pavlena around? She's a girl from Zhelyov who sells baskets here sometimes.
Do I look like someone who goes out to the village green to talk to traveling hawkers? Go and bother someone else. See you soon, my friend.
Just me, or did that chicken sound like a human making chicken noises? Do a little gardening.
God bless you.
I didn't sneeze.
Christ, where did I put it?
Welcome. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a young girl who's gone missing. Her name is Pavlena, and she sells baskets here sometimes. Do you know anything about her?
Pavlena. Pavlena. I might have heard the name. I don't know. I never met her. Try asking somewhere else. Take care, friend.
You, sir.
The Lord be with you. What do you need?
Have you seen Pavlena around? She's a girl from Zhelyov who sells baskets here sometimes.
Isn't that the girl who was chased out of here with her ma years ago? There was a lot of talk about that here. But no, I ain't seen her.
I love how robust your like the diversity of responses to your inquiries are here. I just think it's so cool that this is all like tied together. Like some of these guys are like, oh yeah, like weren't they chased out? Like there's full lore here, and you get little snippets of it from talking to all these people. This is like really neat. You don't just get some generic ass response from a bunch of people and then you get lucky with one. Like some of these people are like, yeah, I've heard the name, but I don't have anything for you. Other people are like, don't know who it is. Oh yeah, I think I bought baskets from her. Didn't she get chased out of here with her mom? And then you heard the bailiff talk about it. Just, oh man, it's so cool. It makes me want to talk to more people. I want to get the whole story if I can.
I'm looking for a young girl named Pavlena. She's missing. She was supposed to be selling baskets here. Do you know anything about her?
I don't know no Pavlena. Sorry. I hope you find her soon.
Oh man, you have striking eyes.
Christ,
Okay.
pardon me.
Ugh. I can just look at this game forever. Just, oh man.
Have you seen a young girl selling baskets here? Her name is Pavlena.
I don't know no Pavlena. Sorry. I hope you find her soon. It was good to see you, my friend.
Scott.
I'm looking for a young girl who's gone missing. Her name is Pavlena, and she sells baskets here sometimes. Do you know anything about her?
Pavlena? Pavlena? I might have heard that name. I don't know. I never met her. Try asking somewhere else.
And then they have the same line but delivered by different voice actors, which is also interesting. Make sure I'm clean. Ugh, God, the vaulting is disorienting.
God be with you. Keep the peace and we'll stay friends.
God be with you.
Wait.
Have you seen a young girl here? Her name is Pavlena. She wears a headscarf and sells baskets.
Pavlena.
Look at this guy.
Pavlena? Aye, isn't she the girl who hangs out with the woodcutters? You should ask them. Their foreman, Dushko, has a cottage not far from the tailor's. A bit further from the green. Farewell, my friend.
Oh, boy. All right. Well.
What brings you here?
Oh, God, I'm trespassing? I guess I was trespassing by walking through there. I had the little bunny show up. All right. I'm not going to spend an entire episode asking about her, but I guess... Oh. But where would... Oh, I take such a big risk going into that dude's house, man. If I get caught breaking into that house, I'm gonna set myself back so far. Can't vault over this fence. Oh God, am I stuck in here? Oh no. Okay. How did I even get in here? Oh, because I walked through the thing. Oh, God. Why can't... Okay, there we go. Thank God. Oh, man. Oh, that's the barber.
Lord be with you.
And also with you. Oh, here we go. Repair. Yes. Cobbler. You can't fix my shoes, though? That's the only thing I want you to fix, dude.
I'm looking for Pavlena from Zhelyov. A young girl, pretty, weaves baskets. Have you seen her?
Old Bozhena's daughter.
Aye, that's her.
Comes here selling baskets.
Yes.
Ointments and all kinds of remedies.
Yes, that's the one.
I ain't seen her. Try the rat house. Thrush, the bailiff, knows what goes on.
Okay. All right. Oh. All right, we're gonna wait till this guy walks past, and we're gonna do it. Jack, come on, man. Yes, God bless you too, sir. Jack. All right, here we go. We're committing. Stressful. Stressful. Jack. Lay down, boss. Oh my God. Guys, come on. Oh. They're here for emotional support, I guess. I'm so worried that this dude is gonna just be in here. How do I get the torch out? R. Ah, this feels so naughty.
Nobody home. But maybe Pavlena was here. It's set for 2. Freshly eaten. And there are the baskets Pavlena came here to sell. They were here for sure. Maybe they just went for a stroll. Dushko might know about their favorite spots.
Now, we're gonna close the door so that nobody knows I was here. I really hope there's nobody sitting outside here waiting. Okay. 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 All right.
I searched Roman's house.
And what did you find?
Well, there's no one there, but Pavlena had been there for sure. The table was set for 2, and I found the baskets that she sells too.
You're right. It sure does look like she was there.
It can't have been long ago either. The food was still fresh. Any idea where they might have gone?
Well, they've got a favorite spot down by the stream. You could try looking there.
Where exactly?
There's a ditch leading from Roman's house to the stream. Follow it down the hill. When you come to a place where the stream flows between the 2 big boulders, turn left and go straight. There it is, under an old linden tree.
All right. Thank you.
But, mind you don't walk into the middle of anything, awkward. And tell that lazy bastard to get his ass to work. I'm not going to do his work for him. Farewell.
Oh, God. All right. So they might be banging. It's a risk I'm willing to take. All right. How am I doing with energy? We're doing okay. I maybe need some nourishment.
Praise the Lord.
Wait, what does that say? Butcher's wife, Milena. Alright, we already talked to the butcher, but I... Alright. Wait, can I use this? Ooh! You can repair your pointed and bladed weapons by sharpening them in a grindstone. This will save you a repair kit or the money for repairs. Carefully move the blade of the weapon across the spinning wheel while maintaining a correct angle. Press space to spin the grindstone. Move the weapon on the grindstone and change its tilt. If sparks are flying off the blade, it's a sign that you're sharpening correctly. If there's smoke coming, you're destroying the weapon. When the weapon is perfectly sharpened, Henry will tell you. Whoa. Okay, so you gotta... Oh, this is cool. Oh, you gotta keep... Oh, God. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, and then he gets tired, so you're using your stamina. This is so cool. Nice and steady.
All right. Done.
Cool. That is neat. Okay. So now is my sword. Yeah, it's at 100. That's badass. Oh, if I can repair my own armor and stuff too, I'm all in.
Nice.
All right. Let's take a walk. Too bad we can't use a grindstone on our boots. I seriously, man, I got to figure out the boot situation because, boy, something tells me. I'm going to come over here so as to not startle him when I walk up on him. What's up, man? What's going on here, Hoggard?
Greeting. Listen, I'm
Might
trying
as
to
well
find
ask him.
someone.
Well, fancy that. Me too. I lost a pig. Have you seen it? I hope he didn't run off into the woods. I take them to the edge of the beech woods for the nuts. Oh, hey, do you reckon there's wolves in the woods? Christ, I'll better find that pig.
You mean this one? Maybe stand up. You'll get a better angle. He's right here. Okay. Well. I don't know that I like the idea of walking through the thicket here. Let's find that path. Follow the instructions we were given here. Alright, here's a stream. Do. Goes through 2 rocks. Okay. Let me try to keep my boots dry. Alright, now if we hear, you know, grunts and moans. Or repeated skin thwacks. Cheek slapping.
This must be the place Dushko was telling me about. How the local lads bring their girls over here. Christ, there must have been a fight here.
You think they mind if I... Ooh. Uh-oh.
Covered in blood. Used as a weapon, maybe.
You think? Think I maybe take a little bread? Get a little nourishment? Can't hurt, right? Eat a little loaf here. Get my nourishment to 69. Some mead.
Blood. I hope it's not Pavlena's. This is surely Pavlena's. A piece of her dress. This doesn't look good. If I had Mutt here, I could let him sniff it. Oh well. Never mind.
Oh, that would be clutch. Oh. Oh, I should have found my dog, dude. We can follow the blood trail, though, I'm guessing.
Blood. We should see where it leads.
I have a thought, but I don't know how to really articulate it with, I mean, I guess, well, I kind of do. I mean, if it's to be believed by the guy that we talked to, if she's pregnant, you almost worry, like, is there a dispute over that pregnancy? I mean, I don't want to think the worst of this, but there are, like, I mean, look, beyond the obvious, there are implications when you have a child of the fact that you're bringing a child into the world, and that child doesn't really have any say over what you bring them into, and you should be ready for that and all this stuff. I mean, you do have a time here where having a child out of wedlock has even broader implications and consequences than like nowadays. And without proper access to healthcare, it doesn't, just because you restrict access to care doesn't mean that people stop having like, people don't just immediately go, okay, I want to be pregnant now because they have restricted access. I don't know. I don't know that that's actually what this is. I mean, there's a lot of blood here. Maybe this is that guy's pig, and maybe it's something else. But I want to be kind of ready for anything, and there's some interesting context clues around that.
Jesus. This
Oh.
must be Roman. Someone buried him here. Mother of God. Oh, and the body's been munched on by a pig. That fella earlier said he was missing a pig. If he went looking for it, he might have seen something.
Whoa. Okay, so never mind. Pig would be a really good way to get rid of the remains, but oh boy. Okay, so I guess we're gonna go talk to this guy. Hey, dude. Found your pig.
That pig you said you lost. I found her.
Great news. Where is it?
Not so fast. It's munching on a corpse back there in the forest.
Blessed Virgin! What corpse?
My guess is it's Roman, a local woodcutter.
By all that's holy! I saw him going towards the woods with his girl, and now you tell me he's dead. Surely she didn't kill him. Oh, Christ! I think I'm gonna throw up.
Have you seen anything suspicious going on around here?
Suspicious? Like how?
I don't know. Someone carrying or dragging something? That corpse didn't walk there on its own.
Hang on now. I did see something a bit odd. One of the farmhands came from the woods in a big hurry. And he was carrying a spade.
Which one of them was it?
Straw! That is Slavomir. But everyone calls him Straw. He works on Yakish's farm. A big farmstead in the south of the village. Oh, do you think he could have killed Roman?
Who knows? But it does seem like he buried him.
God's truth.
You say you saw Roman with his girl. You mean Pavlena?
Aye, that's the name. Pavlena. I saw the pair of them going down towards the stream. Probably for a smooch. The two of them are pretty close. That is, they were. Oh, you think the girl might be mixed up in his death?
I hope not. I'm trying to find her too. Who are you?
My name is Hugo. I herd hogs. I take them to the woods to forage for acorns and nuts. But I ain't got nothing to do with no cops, if that's what you're asking.
Thanks for your help. I better go and find that farmhand.
Aye, and if he really done it, give the murdering fucker what he deserves. Ladybird, come home. Where the hell did that pig go? Ladybird!
Told you he's down there with a corpse, my guy. Ooh.
Ladybird!
Thick plot here.
Piggy, come here.
Love how fleshed out this quest one is. I thought it was going to be just like go to the town and she's there and you go, hey, your mom wants you back. And she goes, oh, I don't want to be back because my mom doesn't approve of my boyfriend. And then you have to decide whether you want to tell her mom or not. But no, it's so much more. And I like that. And I need to gather more information. I don't like jumping to conclusions with limited information. Contrary to what some people like to believe about these playthroughs. I bask in the glory of how gorgeous this is as we walk up here. Now, I don't want to come in here hot and accuse this guy of anything. I want to, like, we're going to play it cool. We're going to assume innocence until, I mean, I'm also not a cop. I'm not an investigator. I'm just here doing this. I'm just a guy. Hey. What's up, guy? Oh, God. Well, we're coming in swinging. The only option I have is to say you buried Roman's body. So, coming in hot.
Are you the one they call Straw?
Yeah. Why?
I know everything. I know you buried Roman's body in the woods.
What? How could you? That's not true.
It's no use trying to wriggle out of it. I have a witness.
Shit. Fuck. I didn't want nothing to do with it, I swear. It's all that girl's fault.
Where is Pavlena?
I ain't telling you nothing.
I'm not a detective. I'm just a guy. When you come in here like this, when you come in guns blazing, you set people on their defenses automatically. Something that people love to forget or not think about is humans are animals. If I come full send to my cat while he's sitting on the couch, what is he gonna do? He's gonna rear up. You come sprinting at a cow in a field, what's it gonna do? It's gonna rear up or run away. Or I guess if it's an animal that's akin to aggression, it's gonna fight you. But there's a defensiveness, there's a reaction. And I'm not saying that we have to massively slow play this, I don't think you do yourself any favors. I'm, I don't know, we're not investigating murders out here, right? But like when you're just in your day to day, when you're having interactions with people, if you suspect somebody has maybe done something that it's something unsavory or uncouth, or you're just like, you've wronged me or somebody I love in some way. You come in hot like this, you set yourself up to be part of a series of reactions. If you can come in curious, first of all, people will often let on that you're onto something in the way that they react to things, even if you inquire benignly. And also, if you show that you're gathering information, and that it's like, I'm not here to like punish you or anything. I'm just trying to gather information because here's what I saw. And since the guy told me that you were involved in it, and see what happens. Maybe see if the guy will work with you. But when you come in like this, now I have to de-escalate on top of everything else. And does this work every time? No. But damn. So I have 3 options here. I have the option to say, confess and nothing will happen to you. Calm down, I don't want to hurt you. Or it's a bit late for regrets, and essentially fight the guy. I'm inclined to say I don't know that saying confess and nothing will happen to you is something he's going to trust. Why would he? Like, the guy's a hired hand. He's not a noble. He's not somebody who has like the immunity of privilege. Like, this guy, if he's like, yeah, I did it, at any point in time, a guard could be like, yo, tell me you did it and you're fine. And then he says it and goes, got you, you fucking idiot. I mean, like, I have to imagine that that's something that people on the low end of the totem pole deal with every day. So I'm not entirely convinced that me coming in here and saying, hey, man, if you confess, nothing's going to happen to you. It also inadvertently puts me into a position of authority, as stated. Because if I say nothing will happen to you, it suggests that something can happen to you if you don't do what I say. And that is in and of itself quite aggressive. That essentially, I actually see that statement as more escalating than I do diminishing. Because of the implication of, I can decide your fate here, buddy, so do as I say, after I've already attacked you. So I don't love it ever telling people to say calm down. You've heard me say this a million times in my playthroughs. But saying I don't want to hurt you, I do wonder if the guy is feeling some sense of threat around this because he's worried that I'm going to like beat him up or going to bring harm to him. And I would imagine that maybe the best way that I can align myself with him is to be like, yo, hey, I'm not trying to like hurt anybody. I'm not trying to freak out here. I'm trying to get information because I want to figure out what's going on with the girl. And maybe she even threatened you. You seem a bit activated right now. I'm not trying to hurt you. And maybe we get a window there. Maybe it fails, I don't know, but to me, that's the better dialogue option with what we've got. And by the way, I just want you all to know, I'm not going to really take too much into account the fact that it says that like my speech is 7 and calm down is 4 and fight is 7. Like, those numbers are mostly irrelevant to me picking the dialogue option that I think is best in a given moment, just so you know. Because I can imagine there's some gameplay people out there that can be like, well, DrMick, you got to pick the one you get the highest number with or whatever. But I'm not really concerned about that part of it. So I'm going to go with calm down. I don't want to hurt you. Let's see what happens.
Take it easy. I don't want to do you any harm. I just wanted to know what really happened with Pavlena and Roman.
No, it's no good. You know everything. You'll tell the bailiff and we'll swing for it. I can't just let you go.
Go to hell!
Oh, God. Well, we
Show
tried.
what you're made of.
I don't want to do this, but... Ugh. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is not the... oh, God. Okay. Pull the sword out. Your sharp sword. Oh, this sucks. I get why he's afraid of me talking to the bailiff, though.
No chance. Bad luck.
Shit. Oh my god, dude. This guy hits hard. Oh my god.
I yield. Mercy. I hope.
Had enough.
Enough. Enough. I'll tell you everything. We didn't want it to end like this, I swear. I'll tell you everything.
Speak up.
This is one of those moments. I'm going to remind everybody who's watching this. This is one of those moments where I'm going to take what happened here and I'm going to try to translate it to like something that you can actually connect to in real life. Because again, last time I checked, the majority of people watching my videos here are not getting into sword fights with people because they're afraid of going to jail when somebody confronts them. It's a very small percentage of the viewership. So instead, what I want to do is look at this from a perspective of not the cops talking to you, okay, but like just in general. When somebody talks to you about something that you feel vulnerable disclosing, but it would actually be in your... We actually had a conversation about this in the chat before I started the playthrough. Where you sharing information would be in your best interests. Whether that's maybe sharing something with your therapist, talking to a doctor, answering your questions honestly. Because what can happen sometimes is if you aren't upfront about something, or you hold back something because you feel vulnerable and defensive of it, or you're worried about judgment, you essentially are in a position where you're going to go on the attack when somebody has pinged a vulnerability of yours. If the situation and the context and the reality that you're in dictates that the best possible outcome comes from honesty, don't bloody yourself with your defenses beforehand. Like this, to me, serves as the metaphor to some extent for how bloodied people are willing to get before they finally open up about stuff that they should just open up about. And I get that there are some people that don't handle that particularly well or whatever. There's a lot of context that goes into this, but it is so frequent that you will see people shield their vulnerabilities and their truths and stuff, even in situations where it would be in their best interest to share it. And learning to be more comfortable with your own vulnerability and not project it onto the people around you, and perhaps when somebody asks you a direct question, if they see that you're struggling or something, they're like, yo, it seems like you're really having a hard time with this. What's going on? How can I support you? Instead of pulling your sword out and fighting it back, maybe just be honest. And then you save yourself the equifinality of getting to the same spot, but you're bloodier than you otherwise could have been. This guy could have just disclosed all of this. I had it like, what is it? You know, he has a chance that he could kill me, that he could fend me off, that I will yield, and then I won't get this information from him. But it's a huge risk for him to take in this when it's not something that he's necessarily involved in. And I've tried to be clear that, like, I'm not a cop. I'm not a guard. I'm not here trying to get you in trouble. I'm just trying to get information. And I get why he'd be scared. That I understand. And this is where having some of that empathy can go a long way with people. I get what this feels like, man. I cornered you. You had 3 walls around you. I showed up. I asked you a question. You weren't ready for it. Like, these are things you can say and communicate before it gets to this stuff. Anyway.
Oh, it all began in the tavern. We were boozing with Yakish. He don't go to the tavern much, but when he does, me and my brother go along too. Even though we're just his hired farmhands, he buys us wine.
Yeah? Go on.
When Yakish got drunk, he started remembering that day when his wife and son died. It happened during childbirth. And to this day, Yakish blames Bozhina the herb woman for it. She was the midwife. I don't know if it was really her fault, but anyway, the boy died and she didn't baptize him, even though she had every right to do it. The little fella died unchristened, so his soul is damned for all eternity. That's not right.
Okay, woof. First of all, can't even imagine being a midwife at this time, because child death rate was like insane. So adding, I mean, I can't even imagine what it's. I mean, I get it, right? Like you're trying to help, and then oh man, what a mess. And beyond that, I mean, how awful, right? Like when your kid dies in childbirth, and then to add to it, this is where engaging in, oh God, I mean, at this time period and still in the present day, these social constructs of religion, which people will talk about as if they are objective truths in their biggest extremes. They're social constructs. They're collective narratives and stuff that have gotten solidified and they're followed and all these sorts of things. They can do wonderful things for people. They can give you direction. They can answer the unanswerable. They can give you a sense of peace about what's going to happen when you die and all sorts of stuff like this. They can give you nice little codes of conduct that you can go by, do well by your fellow man, help the poor, help the whatever, right? There are drawbacks. One of which being that if it's something that you subscribe to and then you get in this situation and then you're like, well, if my kid doesn't get baptized, which again is a construct that's developed from this broader construct, then that kid is damned to all eternity or isn't going to be in heaven or whatever it is that they believe. And then that creates extra layers of stress and compensation. This is where these things get really tough because, like, where does accountability for that lie? Like, if you just say, like, when you have a collective culture around this and everybody buys in, it's one thing. But if you have any kind of monochrome of diversity around spirituality and religion, or even just orientation to these things, this gets complicated because if it's like, if you're in this culture and people are like, well, shit, you could have baptized the kid and you didn't, and now they're damned to all eternity, and everybody's like, yeah, that was really screwed up, dude. Like, what the hell? I totally get why you got your shit kicked in or you got cast out or whatever, because you should have done that. It's tough, though, because if there's anybody else who's like, baptism's not like, I mean, heaven, we don't know, and is baptism actually a thing, and does it matter? It's just and then it's like, well, is the spiritual thing, that social construct more privileged than the not? Like, this gets into really complicated stuff. At the end of the day, what a horrible instance for everyone involved. This is the kind of stuff that sends people in these directions, right? That, like, you are all experiencing this collective thing of like, okay, there's this person who's going to have a baby and the baby dies. And then people immediately want to find fault and accountability because it makes things more concrete. People ask all sorts of, why would this happen to me? All of it. And at the end of the day, it's a really shitty circumstance. It's the entropy of the universe that our brains want to consolidate in meaningful ways. And that can lead to some really significant conflict in these moments where maybe we could, I'm speaking a bit ideally here, right? Because this requires a high level of cognition around this stuff. But like, this is a terrible moment for all of us. And maybe we have to accept the reality of the components of it we can't change. Maybe there is some fault here, but like, oh, god damn, like, let's just process what's happening right now. That's rough, man. Really rough. So I can say, and what's it got to do with Pavlena? Save your stories, where's Pavlena? And I can also say I know something about children who die unbaptized. I don't really get how that fits. I know something about children who die unbaptized. Maybe this helps him feel like I understand where he's coming.
Actually, children who die unbaptized aren't damned.
Oh, no.
I heard a priest once talking about some place called Crimbo or something. It's like hell, only the colours are different. And it's, I think, underground? Or in Prague.
Can I carry on?
Right, yeah. So, you were in the tavern with Yakesh, and...
When he had 3 or 4 jugs inside him.
Oh, what a disaster. That's not what I thought that was going to be. Oh, my God. I literally, that guy tells that story, and I hit him with the actually. Oh, my God. Oh, that's so stupid. I mean, I guess I'm learning how some of this works. The idea that I would have tried to go book smart. I genuinely thought that it was going to be something where I was going to like empathize with him and be like, oh shit, I can understand why shit hit the fan then, because that's a big deal. Not, actually babies just go to a different, unbaptized babies just go to a different color of hell and it's in the ground. Oh my God. Okay, well, yep. Botched that one, Henry. You got to know your audience, my guy. And that's not what I thought we were going to use that for.
Rakesh started on about how he'd give anything to see Bojina suffer the same pain as he did. It wasn't enough for him that they drove her out of the village that time. He wanted to pay her back even more.
So, this is, I think, something that happens when people have a lack of understanding of the way that empathy works. The whole eye for an eye thing, or this idea that you want somebody to suffer the same thing that you did. There's a implication behind that sentiment that the person who you're wanting to subject to that will never understand it or empathize with you unless they have the same experience. And that's not true. That's not actually how empathy works. As somebody whose entire profession is predicated to an extent on empathy, not just as an inherent quality, but as a skill that you develop, I'm here to tell you that plenty of people can understand how something awful is without experiencing it themselves. In fact, there are times where if you experience something similar, you might understand it less as it relates to somebody else because you're too tied up in your inductive experience of that thing. Like, sometimes it's actually better to understand something conceptually rather than to have something personal to connect it to. This is why, sometimes it will drive people nuts in interactions where a person constantly tries to empathize with you by telling you they've had similar experiences. Think about that. If you've ever been in a situation where you're talking about like, oh man, like, oh, it's been really tough, man. We had to put my mom in hospice, and the hospice experience has been kind of rough for us, and she's been going on longer than we thought that she was going to, and blah, blah, blah. And then the person goes, oh yeah, I put my mom in hospice, and then when they did that, they did this. And you're like, yeah, it was crazy. And then they hooked her up to the morphine. They're like, yeah, when they hooked my mom up to the morphine. That can get really old. That can get very frustrating. And people do it because they think that a similar experience immediately connects them. But it does not. I do not have children. I don't have the experience of having a child. I know a lot about child development. I am perfectly qualified to talk to you about the way in which you raise your child. I don't need to have had a child in order to understand that. I don't need to have gone through a miscarriage to understand how utterly devastating a miscarriage can be for people. I don't have to. Both of my parents are still alive. I understand how terrible it is to lose your parents if you have a close relationship to them. Like, and in fact, I don't want to have an entire understanding of that because I want to be able to be curious with you about your experience. So this idea that I'm going to respond to this moment where I lost my child, I'm going to get back at you by killing your kid or having or facilitating an experience where your kid dies because then you'll understand how awful this was for me, is completely unnecessary. There's a really good chance, and I don't know this to be true, maybe Bashena is terrible, right? Like our first impression of her may be very different from the lived experience that she's had and how she has shown her way through the world to this point. We're going to be aware of our limitations around that. But it very well also could be that Bashena completely understands how foobar that situation was. Completely understands how terrible this was. Doesn't need to have her own daughter killed in order to be able to empathize with that. So when you think that you have to get back at somebody in order for them to really understand what they put you through, that is not true. In fact, communication is going to send you a lot farther along that than experience is. And I get that over time, this has been something that is kind of got, it was even a bigger thing at this time period, but there's still some of that. People sort of use their own experiences and think that if other people share it, that's going to make for a more connective experience, or it's going to make you somehow feel better that somebody went through how something awful you went through is. Now you just have two people that went through something awful. The reality of life is bad shit happens, man. It just does. Bad shit happens to good people. Good shit happens to bad people. Not that we can't challenge those things and try to do what we can in order to shit happens, and it sucks. And the idea that somebody else should have to go through it in order for you to be validated in your experience is a really reductionist and overly simplified way of looking at it that's going to cause more problems than anything else. I'm going to make this less about him and more about Pavlena. I care more about where she is. I don't really care what this guy did at this point.
So you two idiots decided to kill Pavlena? Is that how it was?
No. We just wanted to scare her off, so she wouldn't come here again. We followed her along the path to the pond, and then we jumped her. Only then her fella turned up, Roman. As soon as he saw us, he charged us like a wounded boar, and he held my brother by the throat and pounded him like a madman. So I grabbed a rock and smashed him over the head with it. I never seen so much blood. I didn't mean to kill him, I swear.
God almighty. And what did you do with Pavlena?
She was stunned when she saw what happened. So my brother grabbed her and dragged her into the rocks while I went to bury Roman. We couldn't just let her go after she'd seen everything.
Oh, man. Oh, my God. Okay. I'm not... Oh, Jesus. I'm not excusing their behavior, but I'm going to tell you right now that, as soon as all of this went off the rails and didn't go to plan, if they weren't prepared... This is why, my friends, I preach all the time. You can't just go off of what your plan is. You have to leave room for the idea that the way you want things to go may not go that way, so that you open yourself up to planning for the unplannable. Not that you lock something in, but you go, you know what? Some shit might happen. And if stuff happens that goes outside of our purview, we're going to take a beat as best we can and try to make a good decision rather than just try to get us back to the plan. Because as soon as that dude showed up like that, and this went off the rails, now everybody is panicky and they're impulsive and their nervous systems are firing and they make terrible decisions. It doesn't justify any of this stuff, but all of us can be put in a situation. I don't care how well trained you are always running some degree of risk on the idea that the way you've planned stuff out isn't going to go your way. And these guys were not prepared for that, and then this is what happens. Dumb shit really happens when you don't allow for the flexibility of a situation.
In the rocks.
To the south of Zhelyov. There's a kind of gorge there. An abandoned poacher's hide with a ladder leading to it. I've told you everything. What are you gonna do with me?
You're gonna be miserable enough on your own living with that, and I'm not judge, jury, and executioner. I'm just gonna let him go. I care about Pavlena here. It's not my job. I genuinely like it. This not worth it to take him to the bailiff right now.
Well, you did a terrible thing. Now, the most important thing is to rescue Pavlena. Now, go. You can deal with your own conscience.
But you are not washing up before I do.
God! Help! Where is everyone?
Oh, jeez. Boy. We're gonna go. I am worried about the fact that I am bleeding. My health is not great. Injured head and bleeding. I have bandages, don't I? Yeah. Okay. Injured head. Okay, so I don't need that. Injured head, I probably need this. I mean, I probably need to sleep, but as long as I'm not bleeding. Yeah, I took some serious blunt force trauma to the face. Oh boy, I'm like, I gotta put my oxygen mask on. Well, here's the thing. Roman's dead. So we're gonna go sleep in his bed. I realize how cold that is, but like the dude's dead. He's not gonna discover it. He's not gonna use it. I'm gonna go sleep in his bed, and I'm gonna hopefully be of sound mind and body to go take care of his not dead girlfriend. I mean, you can even go so far as to say it's my bed now. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go at night either, because going at night's gonna be dangerous as hell. All right, I really hope this doesn't mess this all up, but I gotta get some health back, man. All right, rise and shine. I guess I don't have to worry about closing doors again either. Oh boy, it's dark. We will anyway, out of respect for the abode. Wait, is there any actually? Dude, I mean, hey, he ain't gonna eat it. I'm not pro looting, but like right now, you eat that stolen bread, ain't nobody gonna know about it. we got? Some leeks, some sauerkraut, some turnips. I don't want to eat raw vegetables, but some copper. This is so dirty, man. It's like, hey, man, just gonna use your house real quick. But hey, if it's in the spirit of, again, we're trying to go save your girl. We can't save you, but maybe you'll be looking down from heaven, going, yeah, dude, take my bread. Have a full stomach when you make it to the woods. I mean, that copper is gonna maybe get me some new shoes. All right, here we go. Here we go, Pavlena. On our way, we head south. Broncos country, let's ride. Hello, fair maiden. God bless you too. I mean, God was doing something that led to oversight on a murder, but I'm sure he'll bless you if I tell him to. All right, here we go. I don't know that I need the torch we have here. I don't know, man. I'm not feeling great about this. Something tells me this is gonna get. Oh, we still got a ways to go. Okay. Follow the yellow brick road. Jog down the yellow brick road. In your busted ass shoes. Nike don't make them like they used to, do they, Henry? Ha! Oh, the big one! Come, Concord! Sad I don't have a Concord with me. do like that for all the realistic stuff of this game, Henry can spontaneously light and unlight a torch and put it in his pocket. Oh boy. All right. I hear somebody. Sounds like somebody's like tied up and gagged. Henry, climb these rocks, dude. How do I get down there? I can literally hear her. Or a woman. I don't know if it's her, but probably is. Yeah, she's like down there. Okay, how do I get down there? Oh, here we go. Oh, shit. What's up, dog? Please don't hurt me.
Stop there.
Whoa.
Don't come any closer or I'll cut her throat. I swear to God, don't try any tricks. Turn around and go right back where you came from. Stop struggling, you bitch. Don't move, you horse son. Who the fuck are you?
Oh god, I'm timed.
My name is Henry. I'm from Skalitz.
And what the fuck do you want here, Henry of Skalitz? Who sent you?
First, tell me who you are. We're Christians. We can talk things over, can't we?
What are you playing at? My name is none of your fucking business.
Don't jump to conclusions. No one sent me.
Well, that's great. What the fuck am I to do now? As if I didn't have enough shit to deal with already. Kurva. I never wanted it to end like this. You gotta believe me. I just wanted to give Pavlina a scare, but then that fool Roman got mixed up in it and... I never meant to kill anyone. Shit.
Take it easy.
Don't fucking tell me to take it easy. How did you get here? My dog Bristly was guarding the entrance. What did you do to him, you bastard? And where's my brother? He should have been here long ago. Talk, or I'll slit her throat.
Don't worry, your dog is just fine. I gave him the slip.
You treacherous rat. You wanted to sneak up on me from behind, eh? Well, Bristly will be waiting for you.
Listen, you have to let Pavlena go. She's pregnant. She's expecting Roman's child.
What? How do you know?
Roman told Dushko, and Dushko told me.
Oh, shit. We killed the baby's father.
Let the girl go. She's suffered enough.
All right, I'll let her go. But on one condition. You'll let me walk away. Will you promise that?
You have my word. Just set her free.
All right. All right. All right. Just take it easy.
You swine!
I'm letting her go.
Die!
Look!
Die! Die! That's for Roman! You bastard!
It's fine. I kept my word. I didn't say anything about her. I kept my word. Okay. I wasn't sure if I could pause there, and I didn't want to ruin it by pausing, but in a situation like that, it was really fascinating the way my own body reacted to that, because I immediately went into like crisis management mode. It was really weird to feel that gear shift in myself. And I mean, for a second, I almost forgot I was streaming, and then I was like, okay, well, don't pause it, because if it can't be paused or it screws it up or whatever. So because I wanted to talk through what I was going to do there, but we'll do it in hindsight here. In a situation like that, you are dealing with somebody who is acting like they're in control, but likely does not feel like they're in control. Unless that guy is a cold-blooded, hired assassin. In which case, we never would have found this. Right? So by virtue of the fact that this was sloppy enough for us to find, suggests to me that we're not working with like a professional here. He's just a person, and he's got her at knife point, and he's scared. And when people get into these types of situations, I'm not talking about hostage situation, but like when you're in like a crisis situation or something like this, and you're scared, people are often have some idea of how things are going to go, and you want to start by matching before you de-escalate. And you do that in some ways by trying to like connect with that person. So when he said, "Who am I?" me saying my name is Henry is an extension of good faith. If I don't answer that question, and I don't answer that question earnestly, now I could be anybody. And there's no personal connection there. There's a reason when you work in labs with mice, they tell you don't name the mice, because as soon as you name something, there's an auto empathic response that happens, because names are intimate and they're markers. So as soon as I say I'm Henry and here's where I'm from, it humanizes me. Now I become something that's more connectable. Now I took a shot at asking what his name was, in part because I wanted to see to the extent that me disclosing my name landed. Because if he disclosed his name, then it means I've got an in. The fact that he's like, you don't need to know who I am, tells me that he's still panicky and still trying to gain some sense of control, and may even be slightly resistant to that. So then it goes in a direction of, he was speaking somewhat reasonably, and he was also speaking from a place of like, we didn't mean for any of this to happen. So he's panicky. So what I need to do is disrupt him in a way that he's going to connect with. And if he's distressed by the way that this is escalated, then I might mean that if I suggest that there's further escalation, and appeal to probably his inner Christian that's going to hear baby and freak out, that can disrupt this. He wasn't ready to hear the woman whose throat you're about to slit is pregnant. And when he heard that, it was enough to give him pause. We talked about this in the Grand Theft Auto 4 playthrough, but like one of the things that if you are ever in a situation where you're like held at knife point or gun point, or you're in a really bad situation, first of all, you generally are going to want to fight. Don't ever let somebody take you to a second location. That's just a rule of thumb that's not relevant here. But one of the things that you can do to buy yourself time is to disrupt it by saying something super random, or by doing something that would be out of the realm of expectation. Because if you say, like, if somebody is like, hey, give me all your money, and you're like, penguins turn purple in October, it will literally, like, for a split second, it can scramble a person's brain. I'm not trying to save you from being, if you're held at gunpoint and this doesn't work, you don't get to hold me accountable for this. But like a general thing, if you want to disrupt a situation, if there's a flow that a person's expecting, if you disrupt it, you can buy yourself time. that works without a gun being pointed at you. It works interpersonally. Like, there's lots of stuff that you can do to maintain control of a situation. And one of the ways is by doing that. But the other way that you can maintain control of a situation is by matching tone and intensity and then being the one who de-escalates. It's one of the ways we de-escalate panic attacks. If you talk to somebody who's panicking, you don't immediately come at them calm. You have to match them and then pull them down through their own mirror neurons watching you and interacting with you. So anyway, my thought process on this was try to connect with them as best as possible, see if it appeals to his humanity, and if it escalates him, then we have to find other ways to disrupt this sequence and give him pause, and we did that. She wants to kill him, by all means. I'm not gonna falter for that. That's not my fight. Why would I be upset? So my options are you killed him and end dialogue. I don't want to say you killed him and Henry come at this from a place of like, you killed him. She's clearly distressed by the entire situation. It would make sense why she did that, but there's no check-in here. There's no like, oh my God, how are you doing? Are you all right? What's up? Or even saying like, I totally understand why you did that. We're going straight to you killed him. I mean, I guess I could headcanon this a little bit. I do wonder if maybe the reason that Henry would say that is because he sees her betrayal of his word as some problem, which, oh my God, dude, get over yourself. Don't make this about you. Don't make this, your word that you gave him is the least important part of this entire thing. And so if you're so self-important in this that you think that her betrayal of that trust was the biggest problem, then we have a way bigger problem than Henry. It certainly could be more of a shock, but if I'm being honest with you, I don't know that that would make sense to me. Other than like Henry being like, damn, you really know how to use a sword. But like Henry has seen shit. And I think any reasonable person could at the very least understand why she would want to do it. Maybe you're a little surprised by it. But again, I wouldn't want you don't want to make this moment about you. Don't make this about your shock and awe. Turn your attention to her. Turn your attention to her experience, the distress that she just went through, like whatever. Like that's more important here. Triaging the importance and the people in a given context can go a really long way to building up a sense that you're a trustworthy and meaningful person to have on board. If you make a situation that very clearly isn't about you, even by exclaiming something like, I can't believe you did that, that's Henry not responding to the moment in a meaningful way. It's him making it about himself. If your first reaction to anything is to say the word I, you're treading in some not so great waters. So I don't love this, but I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to just walk away. That seems crazy. Just get her out of a hostage situation, out the fact that I know that she's pregnant, and then just turn around like some crazy secret agent killer bot from the future and just walk away like that. No way. So I mean, I'm going to take some engagement over nothing, but I can't believe this is the only option I have.
You killed him, but he let you go.
Did they name the candy bar after this moment, the O. Henry bar? Wow. Oh my God. Oh, how do I talk about this? This is a real, what just happened right there is genuinely a plague in modern times as much as it would have been right here. Like, this is something that we are seeing play out, particularly in the United States, like right now. Other places too. It's the idea, I mean, it is, I hate to say this, but in a lot of ways, like, this process is emblematic of like a Catholic Christian entrenched society to some extent, which is the idea that like the last thing you did, whether it's like confession or whatever, is the thing by which a situation should be judged without taking the context into account, right? So it's like if a person beat the shit out of you and then like apologized and picked you up and gave you your wallet back and was like, oh wow, that was crazy, I was out of my mind there, and then you're like, well, at least he apologized. Or, you know, you do all sorts of unspeakably horrible things, and then you start a war, and then you end the war, and people go, wow, you're such a hero for ending the war that you started. Like, this idea that all should be forgiven because there's some moment of contrition is a big yikes. Like, and I mean, again, I'm not here to shit on like religion and spirituality. Like, I have nothing wrong with people following religious doctrine, and I know how I can come off sometimes. But like, I was raised Catholic, and one of the things that I remember thinking to myself when I was raised Catholic as a kid is like, so wait, so you're telling me that I have to, you know, do all these things, don't sin, and then, but you're telling me that if I like, you know, steal a candy bar from Walmart and then have premarital sex at 14 years old with my girl, this is not a real scenario, trust me, but I'm gonna steal a Snickers bar, I'm gonna give it to my girlfriend, we're gonna bang in the back of my parents' car in a Walmart parking lot, and then after that we're gonna go pee on some graves, and then I'm gonna say the Lord's name in vain a million times, and then I go slaughter a cat, and then I punch a baby, that all I have to do is show up at reconciliation on Saturday afternoon when the priest is sitting in the confessional and say, hey, here's what I did wrong, and then I say a bunch of Hail Marys and I'm good to go? That's it? That like genuinely do right by your neighbor doesn't matter as long as you're sorry for not doing right by your neighbor? It just didn't make sense to me. But like, this is that. You killed him, but he let you go. What a great guy. What an amazing man. He could have killed you there. Wow, what a guy. He's able to be talked off the ledge. He listened to me. This is what a wonderful thing. No, Henry. Jesus, look at her. She's covered in blood. She's being punished for something she wasn't even involved in. You have so much context for this. She was just held at knife point by a guy who didn't even know what he's doing. You've experienced unimaginable trauma. The father of your unborn child is dead and being eaten by a pig in the forest right now because he got dug up after getting bashed over the head with a rock by a hired hand. And then you were taken to this remote location. Who knows what else this guy did to her before he held her at knife point. But he said sorry. It's like the Nuremberg trials. Yes, we gassed and killed millions of Jews, but we're sorry. We were just following orders. I'm sorry. Okay, you're right. You're forgiven. You can go into heaven. You're sorry. I just, like, what a way to miss the mark, man. Like, it's really brutal here. And what it teaches her to some extent, because this is like kind of a collective thing that I can only imagine at this time in history what women are experiencing, right? Like, it essentially says, like, your experience doesn't matter as much as what that guy just did in response. Like, I don't care about all the unspeakable trauma you went through. I care about the thing that matters. Again, I care about the thing that matters to me. This guy gave you word. I gave him his word that he was going to go and he was going to get off scot-free, and you killed him. It's really frustrating. Like, I mean, I'm very annoyed at Henry for responding that way. Like, don't be that person. Especially when you're looking at like the victim of something. That's like, it's essentially, I'm gonna be really crass here for a second, and I do apologize if this is like triggering for anybody for me saying this, but like to really trying to drive this home, this is essentially like Henry saying, "Oh, you were raped? Well, at least he wore a condom." Like it's adjacent to that. Like that's essentially what you're doing when you do this. It's an at least statement that denies the entire experience of a person leading up to that. It's also like how when you're speaking English, when they say like, if you're going to say a statement and you put the word but, people will immediately drop off the thing that was said before the but. And this is the interpersonal version of this. So I'm bashing Henry a lot here. Henry also, to give him, I guess, a little bit of like, because I like to see these things from as many sides as possible, to give Henry a little bit of flexibility here. I don't know that he's ever been in a situation like this. I don't know that Henry has ever been in a position where he's been told or given representation of the way that you respond to somebody who's gone through unspeakable trauma. This wasn't traumatic for Henry. I mean, other than if he was activated by the fact that he just, he de-escalated a hostage situation. But again, the triage of this, she was the one held at knife point. This is like it's like trying to take care of the SWAT team after a bank robbery. So it's just really, the TLDR on this, to not belabor this for another hour, TLDR on this is, people's experiences of really horrible things should not be ignored, denied, or diminished because the perpetrator of that crime expresses contrition. The contrition is important, but it's not as important as the recovery of the victim. I don't care how sorry you are that you rear-ended my car and paralyzed me from the neck down. I mean, sure, it's a nice sentiment, but like... So make this about her. Be curious. If you don't feel like you're equipped to handle it, say something to her like, hey, I don't really know how to handle this situation. I'm glad you're okay. I mean, even that is better than that.
So what? He deserved nothing better.
No, you're right. He had it coming.
Yes, for what he did to Roman. I have to get out of here. Will you take me back home?
I'm not condoning murder, by the way. Like, I'm not thrilled she killed him, but this is one of those things where like the time period absolutely matters. But like, I'm not gonna. Oh God, this stuff is so complicated. It's hard to do. I don't need you to. I'm not trying to solicit empathy here, but like, this is hard. It's like sometimes when I do these playthroughs, it's hard because there's a million things to talk about. I could go through like a bazillion different angles on this and sit here for the next 3 hours talking about this like one interaction and like trying to pick and choose what I talk about versus what I don't talk about and what points I want to make versus what I don't. It can be very hard. This is one of those moments. It's really hard. I mean, trying to even like write something like this is really tough, but like, oh.
We can go. I'll go with you.
Good. I don't want to spend another moment here.
Of course.
Let's go then.
Should we get washed up? Oh, that's cool. It just auto fast travels you. That's neat.
Here we are. Pavleno's fine.
Pavlena. Let me look. Are you all right?
I'm fine, Ma. They
abducted her.
Just to be very clear, in a moment like this, now, you were ever subjected to something terrible, and somebody asks how you're doing, you don't have to say fine. Like, it's okay to say, I'm not doing great. And you can say, I'm not doing great, and I don't want you to do anything about it. So you can treat this as if I had said I was fine. But I'm not fine. And if there's a way in which I need to talk to you about it, I will. It's a much more empowering place to come from. So many people try to protect other people from them not being fine, that it inadvertently creates this like siloing of your experience. Pavlena is under no obligation to take care of other people because they hear that she was traumatized. It's okay for her to say, I'm not doing great. I'll spare you the details unless you want them or unless I'm comfortable enough sharing them. But no, I'm not great. I was just held at knife point after my baby daddy was killed and thrown in a pit and beat by a rock. Not in that order. And this guy came and helped me, and I'm glad that he did. But no, not doing great. That's all I want to say, and I don't need you to ask me any further questions, and I'll let you know if there's anything you can do to support me. It's fine to say that.
God almighty. Who would do such a thing?
They were hired hands from Troskovitz.
And did they do anything to you?
No, they just tied me up. But they were Yakesh's hands. They would have killed me.
Yakesh? I might have known he wouldn't leave us in peace. Hasn't he hurt us enough already? Isn't it enough that we have to live here because of him?
Ma.
I knew it would come to this. Henry, I need one last service from you.
I really want to know all of the context for this because, again, this is one of those things where I'm sticking my nose into something that is so much deeper than you ever imagined. Like, holy crap, man. I am getting involved at the surface on affairs that go 300 feet down into the ground.
I'd be glad to help.
Yakesh is to blame for everything. For us being driven out, for Pavlena being abducted.
And for everything else.
Everything leads back to him and his old hatred.
Now, look at this. A bit of a weary eye. Because you want to talk about pattern disruptions? You want to talk about things that are maybe a little bit different than what you've seen? You notice that they've started speaking in absolutes all of a sudden? Both of them in lockstep? It's all his fault? Everything? There's a defensiveness in absolutist language. And there's an accountability deferral in absolutist language. And the reality of things is that it's so rare that absolutism is true. Things are so much more nuanced. There are so many reciprocating factors and dynamics that to use absolutist language is to oversimplify something and sometimes obscure and sometimes try to sell a certain narrative. So I'm not saying that I'm immediately turning on the two of them and I'm like, oh, skeptical as hell. You guys are full of shit. But people don't do things for no reason. There's something that happened. But I just want to make sure that we notice the fact that there's a lot of absolutist language all of a sudden that's happening here. And that just perks my antennas up. That's all it does. Just perks up the antennas.
We'll never have peace as long as...
And she literally says never as soon as I unpause.
As long as he's alive.
What are you trying to say?
I want you to kill him.
What? Are you serious?
Yes. It's either him or us.
What happened between you and Yakesh?
That's old history.
No, that matters immensely. You don't get to ask me to kill somebody and then get dodgy. No, you're going to ask me to involve myself to go so far as to kill somebody. If you're going to make an ask, I deserve any information I want in order to make that choice. And I believe that outside of just the context of hired murder, if somebody asks you to do a task, or if you ask somebody to do a task and that person has questions about the task that you're asking them to engage in on your behalf, they are entitled to answers to those questions. And if there's any risk involved in whether they say yes to that thing, they are entitled to understanding those risks. So it is perfectly reasonable for me to ask that question. And if you're going to get obtuse here, and now you're going to leverage the "but I saved you," that doesn't feel good. We're not going to make decisions based on obligation or some sense of reciprocity here. You got to give me info.
Because of him that they drove us out of Troskovitz.
You lived in Troskovitz?
For generations. I was the midwife there for years, just like my ma before me. So many children we brought into the world. Yakesh's too, except for one.
What happened?
The birth started sooner than it should have, and Yakesh didn't send for us on time. He thought since Ludmilla had already given birth to 3 children, she'd manage the 4th on her own. Little Marushka came to get us, though, but by the time we arrived, it was looking bad. I did what I could. I gave her poultices and herbs to inhale, but the child was feet first and wouldn't come out. No matter what we did, it clung on and wouldn't budge. In the end, it died. When we finally got it out, it was too late.
He was, ripped apart. I remember that.
Pavlena. It was a boy.
See, Pavlena gets it. Now, Bashena may have some shame around this, or maybe steeped in some idea that as the midwife, it was her responsibility to save this baby, and is experiencing shame and is thus trying to deflect some of this information so that we don't hear it, and thus maybe agree with the people of Troskovitz. But that's the reality is her daughter gets it. Her daughter's like, no, he needs to know this stuff. He needs the information because, again, the more information he has, the more informed of a decision he can make. So this is where you can get your own way with shame and fear of judgment and stuff like this. Because if I'm Henry and I feel like you're holding off a bunch of information, I am less likely to commit to this. And I think Pavlena can sense that.
Yakesh's only son. He wouldn't listen. He had to look at him. Right after, he threw us out. Ludmilla died during the night, probably all alone, from exhaustion and pain, or maybe distress. Yakesh blamed us for everything, and the whole village listened to him. They drove us out.
Past the boundary stone.
Yakesh turned all his anger and hatred against us. But it was us who tried to save his son.
Yeah, I mean, they're the proxies. This is going to happen. This is, again, when people get into really, really horrible, intense situations, they get into binaries, they get into, I'm obviously it's, if what they're telling me is completely true, then yeah, I mean, it's not their fault. And it sucks that he blamed them for it. I can also understand why he did. I'm not saying that he needed to drive them out of town for it. I also, I mean, I want to know more about this guy, because like, is this a guy who is privy to making really grand sweeping gestures and stuff, like off of small things? Like, does he have a history of doing this kind of shit? Is this like a one-off? Because when people go to extremes in responses to things, oftentimes it's because there's some degree of history there. Like, people don't necessarily go to banishment immediately. Oftentimes, something like this that appears to be out of nowhere can be an indicator that there was a buildup. Not always. That's a brutal situation to be in, and he has power. And so if he felt like regaining control over this was to send them out, and yeah, I agree, right? Like, if, I mean, this isn't a place where they have really, they don't have modern healthcare. But yeah, if like a midwife who's been doing this for years is doing what she can to try to help the situation, and you kick her out, yeah, but he's not going to take fault. The idea, and I'm not excusing this, but the idea for so many parents that you would take accountability in some way for the fact that your child died, that takes some real self-reflection and gall for a parent to get on board with that. And I'm not talking about parents who take and go, it's all my fault, because that's not any good either. It's all my fault and it's none of my fault are both equally destructive. But what a mess. What a mess. Now, here's what I hate. From a game design standpoint, this is one of my first, is you're getting eschewed a bit into a binary here. I have an option to say either it wasn't your fault or I understand why Jakesh had you driven out. Both of those are true. I can understand why he would do that. Now, I'm not saying it's right, but I can understand why he would do it. And it's also not their fault. Unless Bashenna actively took the baby out and chopped it up while it was crying, it's not her fault. So these are both true statements. So now I unfortunately have to appeal to game design in order to figure out what I want to do here. And I think if I say I understand why Jakesh had you driven out, I'm going to alienate the shit out of them. I mean, I'm going to take the perspective of the person who's not here after you just told me a vulnerable story. That's not going to go well. So I'm inclined to say, like, okay, well, based on what you said, it's not your fault. It really sucks that you've gotten driven out.
I don't think it was your fault. These things just happen in life sometimes.
Aye. Everyone dies.
Yes.
I'll do it. I'm not going to help you with that. You should reconcile yourself. I don't know what that means to say you should reconcile yourself. But I don't want to commit to doing it or not doing it. I mean, killing the guy seems... I know. I mean, I can appreciate where you're coming from here, but I'm not going to kill the guy. And I think the boundary here is important, even if it may sacrifice my relationship with them.
Murder Yakesh? No. Think what you're saying.
Henry.
I'll have nothing to do with anything like that.
God damn it.
I'll do it myself.
Quiet, Pavlena. I understand. You saved my daughter, and for that I'll be eternally grateful to you. But leave us now. Me and Pavlena need to think about what to do.
Look, if Pavlena wants to go kill him and they decide that's what they're going to do, it's your business. Your business. Henry coming out like, look, he's Henry. Okay, I get it. There's a fine line here because Henry is me, but I'm also Henry. So I'm not. I guess I'm annoyed that he was aggressive there. Like he could say like, look, I totally get why you want me to do that. I'm not going to do it. You can say, you don't have to be aggressive in the way that you set boundaries. In fact, sometimes there's more power in being like, I totally get where you're coming from. I get why you'd ask me to do that. I'm not going to do it. But, you know, whatever. But yeah, if they want to go do it, sure. But I'm not involving myself in that. Gonna wash up. Holy hell. Woo. I hope the game doesn't punish you if you don't kill him. Like, he'll come back and kill them. That's not my problem. Look, I really believe if they go try to kill him and they get thrown in jail, not my problem. If he comes out here and tries to kill them, not my problem. I'm not responsible for the beef between the two of them. I decided to involve myself in getting Pavlena back, and I did that. But that beef's not mine. It's not mine. All right. That was a fun episode. Hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. Thanks for taking the time to hang out and listen to what I have to say. I hope I'll see you in part 7. If you haven't left a like yet, please do that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. And I will just say, before you hop into the comments, don't spoil shit. I don't want to hear anything about what happens in the alternative paths to what I said. And remember, I'm one perspective. One perspective. I don't claim to be the arbiter of truth and righteousness. If you disagree with something I said or did, that's fine. I'm perfectly okay with that. Just, you know, as long as you don't tell me what happens in the other pathways, I don't care. You're welcome to disagree with me. I'm not looking for a DrMick echo chamber out here. I would love to hear your thoughts. Just please don't spoiler or backseat anything. That's all I ask. If you're binging, I'll see you right here in the next episode. If you're waiting for the next episode to come out, we'll get it out as soon as we can. If you are waiting for the next one to come out, you should check out my other playthroughs in the meantime. I got lots of them. You're great. You're awesome. You matter. See you in the next one.